Yeah, I want to shed light on a topic that often goes unnoticed in discussions. Discussions about African economic landscape and the profound influence of historical events on contemporary economic realities. Too often, we overlook the fact that the challenges and opportunities we face today are deeply rooted in our past. Firstly, let's reflect on the enduring legacy of colonialism. For centuries, European powers exploited African resources, and they still are. Look at what's happening in Congo and other parts of Africa. African resources have been exploited, and establishing extractive economies that served the interest of the colonizers at the expense of the indigenous population. So, this legacy of exploitation has left a lasting imprint on our economic structure. Of course, contributing to persistent challenges such as resource dependence and limited industrialization. Moreover, the arbitrary drawing of colonial borders disregarded pre existing ethnic, cultural, and economic boundaries, leading to fragmented markets and hundreds of regional integration. The consequences of these artificial borders continue to hinder trade, infrastructure, development, and political stability in many parts of the world because a lot of the markets were fragmented and broken up and have never been orchestrated or been brought back together again. So this drawing of borders is a big, big, big mess in Africa. So the scars of the transatlantic slave trade and other forms of forced labor run deep. Those scars are deep. They never go away after 400, 500,000 years. These historical injustices disrupted African societies, and this led to geographical shifts. This led to loss of skilled labor because the people were shifted all over the place, and also led to social disintegration. The impact of such atrocities continues to resonate today, hindering human capital development, social cohesion, and economic resilience. Following independence, many African countries face significant political, social, and economic challenges. Issues such as corruption, weak governance structures, and political instabilities have hindered almost every African economy. These have hindered development and also deterred foreign investment. So then decades of mismanagement and authoritarian rule in some countries have resulted in economic stagnation and social unrest. So the burden of historical debt continues to weigh heavily on many African nations. Debt servicing obligations divert resources away from critical sectors such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Then, of course, perpetuating a cycle of economic vulnerability and dependency. So, let's also not forget the legacy of conflict, which has been devastating consequences for African economies. This idea of wars, civil unrest, and geopolitical rivalries have disrupted trade, displaced populations, and undermined investment and development efforts. The lingering effects of conflicts continue to impede economic growth and social progress in many parts of the continent. So this legacy continues. The devastating consequences of African wars, civil wars, political rivalries, just because there's a line between one country and another, which these countries were one together. These wars are disrupting Africa. The answer is to get rid of those borders. Lastly, the legacy of development models, which are mostly influenced by the West, is more towards or paradigms and aid programs has often been criticized for the limited success and unintended consequences. Dependency on foreign aid, inappropriate development models, and conditionalities attached to these loans have constrained Africa's stability, and it has made it very difficult to pursue self-directed sustainable development paths. So in conclusion, or let me just say this, it is evident that historical events continue to shape contemporary economic realities in Africa in very profound ways. As we navigate the challenges and opportunities of the present, it's imperative that we acknowledge and learn from our past. By understanding the historical context of our economic landscape, we can now chart a course towards inclusive, sustainable development, and of course, generational growth. Thank you. I'll see you at the next one.